With just one exercise, you can significantly build your leg strength after a stroke. Hi, I'm Elise. I hold a clinical doctorate in occupational therapy, and I'm also a certified stroke rehabilitation specialist. Today, I'll show you how to do this exercise with modifications based on your level of functioning and tell you how often to do it to get the best results. Before we jump in, please make sure to support the channel however you can. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, click the join button to become a channel member, or leave us a super thanks by clicking in the YouTube bar below. All right, let's get into it. The leg strengthening exercise I'll cover today is a squat. Now, I know you might either be thinking, Elise, that is way too basic of a movement to really effectively build leg strength, while others might picture something like this when you think of doing a squat. But let me let you in on a little secret. You don't have to be a bodybuilder to be able to do a squat, and you don't even necessarily need equipment. The other thing is, basic compound movements like a squat are hugely beneficial for building strength. Compound movements target multiple muscle groups, so you get more bang for your buck. And interestingly, their benefit reaches even beyond strengthening. For example, a recent study found that doing 10 bodyweight squats every hour that you're sitting significantly helps to control your blood sugar levels. And they mimic functional movements, like being able to sit down in a chair, pick something up from the floor, or get up from the toilet. Because of this, they can help to improve both your independence and safety with everyday activities, in addition to building strength. All right, so we understand squats are great for us. Now, how do we do them? Having good form is important for any exercise to prevent injury and reduce any unnecessary strain or pain, which is why you always want to check with your doctor before starting any new exercise routine or therapy routine to make sure that it's right for you. While you're learning this form, it may be helpful to do it in front of a mirror, to film yourself with your phone, or have somebody else watch you so they can give you feedback on your form. So, how do we do a squat? You want to make sure that your feet are about hip width or just a little bit wider apart. If you can, have your toes pointed slightly outward. You want to keep your chest and your head high while you're going through the movement. I'm going to turn to the side for this one. You want to go as deep as you can into the squat. You push your booty out behind you, keeping those chest and head nice and high. You want to avoid rounding your back or leaning too far forward like that. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about squat modifications to meet you where you are based on your functional level of movement. The first one I have for you is the most beginner friendly. It's called a mini squat. This is best for someone who probably is able to stand, maybe not for long periods of time, and who might not be walking yet, maybe just a few steps, but I highly recommend using some type of sturdy surface to hold on to. Maybe like a bathroom vanity or a kitchen counter, something that is not gonna move on you. I'm just using this chair for demonstration purposes, but I don't recommend using something like this. Might also be helpful to have a chair or something to sit on behind you in case you lose your balance. So for a mini squat, you're gonna be holding onto your sturdy surface with one hand or both hands if you're able. You wanna try to maintain good form that we already talked about, and you're just gonna sink down slightly and come back up. Slightly come down and come back up. So we're not getting into full range of motion here with a mini squat. We're just trying to start building that leg strength so that you can eventually move into a full range of motion squat. So for our next modification, we have a supported squat. So this is where we are trying to aim for that more full range of motion squat, getting down quite a bit deeper, but you're still using your solid, steady surface to help you keep your balance. So let me show you that one. Again, you're holding on with one hand or both hands as you're able. You're gonna maintain your good form, but this time you wanna try to go down as far as you can. So this is where you're sinking down low, 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 coming back up. Sorry if you hear my knees crackle. Come down far as you can, and then all the way up. The third modification is a freestanding bodyweight squat. So this is where we take away our support, Although if you still feel unsteady, have something within reach that you can hold on to. And this is where we're gonna try to go through full range of motion, just using your body weight, but not holding on to anything. Now, if you need to, you can clasp your hands together, sink down nice and low, come back up, nice and low, and come back up, trying to maintain good balance and good weight distribution evenly across both of your feet while you do it. Now, the last and final modification that I have for you is the most advanced, and it's doing resistive squats. So using any type of weight, like a dumbbell, a kettlebell, or a barbell, to give you more of an advanced challenge. Now, this is really only appropriate for people who can safely do full range of motion with their squats, have been approved by their doctor to safely lift however much weight, and have good balance and postural stability enough to maintain the movement without getting off balance. I'm gonna grab some 8-pound dumbbells. You can use whatever weights are most appropriate for you. Highly recommend you check with a professional. So you could do something like this, where you're getting your arms engaged as you go down into your squat. And then you're, of course, adding more resistance, which is gonna help build more strength. Now you can also do something called a goblet squat using a dumbbell or a kettlebell. And this is where you hold your dumbbell or your kettlebell like it is a little goblet here. And then you're gonna sink down into your squat. Now what's nice is you can really build up quite a lot of weight doing it this way and get a lot more resistance. The last way that you can do a resistive squat is using a barbell. So you can do those in a multitude of different ways. You can have a back squat where the bar is on your back, on the front of your chest, that's called a front squat. And again, highly recommend that you check with a professional if that's something that you want to try, because that requires a more expert and advanced level. So how many squats should you do, and how often should you do them to build leg strength? For bodyweight squats, which were the first 3 modifications that I showed you, I'd recommend doing 3 sets of 10 to 30, around 3 to 5 days per week. If you're at a more advanced level and you're doing strengthening, if you're doing resistive body squats, you probably want to stick to like 3 to 4 sets of 5 to 10 repetitions, 2 to 3 days a week. You want to take at least 1 day of rest in between your training sessions to give your muscles a chance to recover. This will also depend on how heavy of weights that you're using. So if you're using really heavy weights, it's crucial that you get those rest days in between. Leave me a comment and let me know, are squats an exercise that you've tried in your home rehab routine? If so, have you found them helpful? And of course, a huge thank you to all of the donors who make this nonprofit possible, with a special thanks to Heather G, Ryan D, and Modus Nova in our Empowerer tier on Patreon. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time.